Hey YouTube, what's up? Scarecrow Kaiser here. What you see in front of you is a playmat I'm working on. Uh, I'm a long way from being done with it, but I figured I need some kind of imagery while I do this topic. So here's something you can look at and see something I'm working on. But so what I'm going to talk about is we're like a week away from Virus Collection coming out. So I'm a little bit late to getting to the discussion on them, but better late than never, I guess. So I was gonna talk about real quickly about what I think of each of them. So best way for me to go through each of them, I think, is by nation. It's how it's gonna help me remember the best. I'm gonna start with Stargate, Link Jokers, I guess. I really like their GB8. It's very cool. Because I'm more of a Chaos Breaker fan. I really like the control style of that deck. Like, if you want to play like a real control deck, like that's like the way to do it. I feel like, and that deck has always started with the finisher. I like playing Blizza in the deck because that game takes a while to play that deck, and you get to late game and your opponent's been worn out from trying not to get double crit all game, and then you drop a Blizzle on them and swing for a massive number. They don't have perfect guards left, and they die. So I'm a really big fan of that one. It really helps out Chaos Breaker. I've heard some people say something like you won't have enough soul to board wipe them at that point, and if someone tells you that, trust me, they're wrong, and they're a bad Link Joker player. You very seldom, if you're a good Link Joker player, actually kill your opponent's stuff. It's better to leave stuff on the board so that you can lock it again on your turn, and just keep. It's more important to keep the opponent locked down than it is to like get card advantage off the limit break. So you actually don't use it that much. So you should have more than enough soul between that and the soul charge unflip 2 grade 1 chick by the time you get to GB8 that you can do that. So that shouldn't be a problem. I think that card's really well designed. The Nova Grappler one, I think he's very cool, but I don't think he matters at all. I'm not even going to spend very much time talking on him. You should be able to kill your opponent with Favorite Champ, which is like as strong as a GB8, but he's more like a GB3 or GB4. You should definitely be able to kill people with Favorite Champ before GB8 ever matters, so I'm done talking about that one. Moving on to the Dimension Police with Die King, the properly named guy, because he's the king of making people die, because he has a really tons of crits and a big number, and then the rear guards get big. Like, he was definitely one of the best ones they revealed. He seems good. The downside to that card is you need to have other cards for it to be good. And I feel like often by the time you get to GB8, you might be in like top deck mode and stuff. That's why I think a lot of these GB8s, people aren't appreciating them for how the state of the game will be. So, I don't know. He seems good, but by the time you get to that, will you really have the resources to have a full rear guard to make him strong? Moving on to Zoo. I'll start with Great Nature. They have a really good GB8. Great Nature can probably make it there. The problem is, will you be decking out by that point? However, I guess you don't even need to attack with the Vanguard if you have to, because you can power up your rear guard so big and use like Cran Tiger to restand those cards you powered up. So, I think he's one of the best ones. Yeah. Neonectar wise, I don't have much of an opinion on that card. It seems like it does what Neonectar does, clones things, gets big. Like, I don't know if it's even like that GB8 scary-ish. Like, it didn't seem like it from my impression of it, but I don't have a very educated opinion to give on it, honestly. I would think Neonectar would win long before, or lose before GB8 matters. Mega Colony Bushy Road never really seems to like Mag Colony. Their GB8 is pretty lackluster. The screen's doing a lot of weird things while I'm talking to you guys. Um, yeah, the power boost is kind of big, but it's really dependent on your opponent's field. And a lot of decks like Pale Moon, Grand Blue, decks like Cargro, who just they don't seem to have much of a field usually. So especially once you get the GB8 and its skill to lock auto skills is good against some decks, but he's probably one of the worst ones. Yeah. So move on to Megalonica now. The Bermuda one is fine. It's not fun. I mean, I guess you could. It just seemed kind of boring. It was really predictable. It's like an Olivia, but it gives the rear guards power instead of having a crit. Which by the time you get to GB8, I don't think a crit will matter. I think your opponent should be at 5, and any attack that hits will be game. So bouncing the field, recalling it, and giving it power, it seems pretty good. Although the card wasn't super exciting, but the Aquaforce one, I want to talk about this one especially. This card is very misunderstood by a lot of people, even people who play Aquaforce, and that's because just a lot of people are bad. People are bad. People don't understand the context of certain cards sometimes, and I don't think the Aquaforce card is great or amazing, but the Aquaforce GB8 is very misunderstood. It's because people aren't like, you can't just like imagine these cards in the perfect scenarios. Like, for example, Daiking. Deep Police don't usually maintain great card advantage, so they might not have like stuff by the time they might be in like top deck mode, as I said. Now that Aquaforce one is a great example because Aquaforce throws down its cards, hits hard. Now it's very easy to imagine by the time you get to GB8 if somehow Aquaforce made it to GB8, which is really unlikely, that they'd be in a top deck mode. And the great thing, or just have low resources, and the great thing about this card, the reason this card should be appreciated, is that all this guy says, all you need is at least one rear guard. If you can get one rear guard out, sorry about that there. For some reason, the TV just randomly like turned on. So back to it. Yeah, the Aquaforce guy. All this guy says is if you have at least one rear guard, you have the ability to make it to your 5th wave. Because even if you only have one rear guard, you can go Vanguard first, rear guard, and that creates that wave 2 leads you into wave 3, into wave 4, into wave 5. So I appreciate the card in the sense that it says even if you don't have like anything other than one rear guard, you can still get to your 5 attacks, which at GB8 mode, your opponent should be in bad shape and should be game. Am I going to bother to put the card in my deck? I probably not, considering Aquaforce should win long before that. I don't know why Aquaforce would ever make it to GB8. Yeah. The Grand Blue one. The Grand Blue GB8. Really good. Really good. Even if it didn't give power to the rear guards it called, it would still be like really good. It's like a Gauche, or whatever that guy's name is, but with no cost. It's amazing. Really good. The decks usually that deck usually shouldn't get there. It can, but it usually shouldn't. But it seems worth playing, at least a one of. So yeah. Moving on to Dark Zone. The Pale Moon one, I thought it was pretty cool. It was a little bit weird and seemed like it took a path that seemed kind of unnecessary, giving the rear guards an additional race to do what it does. But it seemed pretty good. I don't have much else to say about it. It seemed good. It does what it should do. Can multi-attack and gives power. I kind of feel about it the same way I do about the Bermuda one. Although this one I think is probably better. I don't know. The dark irregular one, really weird, but really good. It's like a good standard to compare these GB8s to. Not like super duper crazy, but good. Giving the front row 13 and a crit for every 13 cards. That's good. Not much else to say about that. Spike Brother. Why would I don't know why Spike Brothers have a GB8. Same thing with Nova Grapplers. Spike Brothers should never make it to GB8. There's something really fucking weird going on. Spike Brothers should either have already won or died before that. I know there's people who have tried to make a deck based on it, but it seems fucking dumb, to be blunt. Like, stop wasting time. You have other good strides that are almost just as potent as that card that you can do long before that card. Yeah. The Gear Chronicle one. The Gear Chronicle one, on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say is like a 6 or a 7. I wouldn't call it bad. And the reason I wouldn't call it bad is because when they designed it, I feel like they took in consideration very much the deck that was going into. The clan most likely to get to GB8 the fastest. The card's not drastically better than just doing a next stage turn, and the bind 8 cards is a really big cost, especially by a later stage in the game. I don't know that I will play it, but I think it's a pretty okay one. It's not like ridiculously broken. It's not terrible. I feel like it has a good place for what clan it belongs to and stuff, so that's my say on that guy. To the Dragon Empire, the Tachikaze one, I was super disappointed and bored to read. It might be okay. It seems kind of It's I don't know. Again, it's a deck I don't think you'll ever gonna get to GB8 with, so it probably really doesn't even matter. But I was bored and disappointed by it. I was hoping for something more exciting. The new Batama one was really scary. That card is really, really scary. Like, just the perfect guard that thing, you're gonna have to use up 4 cards. Like, even, let's say you're on old school Shiranui, and you have like, and then they have like 10 cards. You stride, take a card out of their hand, get rid of an interceptor. Your Vanguard swings. They want a perfect guard. Their 9-card hand goes down to 5 cards now, just to block that Vanguard. Let's say you get 1 trigger, give it to a rear guard. That rear guard was 16, now it's 21. You swing that. They have to guard with 3. They have to use up 3 cards to throw down their 10 shield, and 3 cards to throw down a 5 shield. So they just gave up 6 cards. I guess to try and block that. Guess they have no hand. Guess they just died. Yeah, that seemed pretty easy. It's a really good card. Seems especially scary. Like, if you're dominating their rear guards too, going, oh look, multi-attack with my rear guards, and every attack you want to block, you're gonna have to give up 2 more in hand. Yeah, seemed good. I don't know that deck is ever gonna get there. That seems kind of unrealistic for Nubatama to get to GB8, but the Murakuma one I thought was really cool. My impression of him is this is like a really, really good, not bad version of what I think they thought they were making when they made what's that Gear Chronicle stride that's terrible that no one plays from Tri 3? The one who calls 2 Chrono Jets. You guys know what I'm talking about. This card was like that card, but good. Really good. The Murakuma one is one of my favorite ones. I think it was one of the coolest and one of the best ones. Murakuma definitely needs it. They're kind of really down there in strength, but compared to other clans. But so, Narukami, another really good one. And cool. I wasn't expecting it to do what it did, but it makes it strong, especially in a meta where Grand Blue is relevant. I don't know why Narukami, again, GB8 seems unrealistic for so many decks, but I don't know why Narukami's getting there, but if it gets there, bombing the field, the drop zone, powering up your stuff, that card seems really strong. Should probably win if you bring out, especially if you're playing against Grand Blue. Seems like using that in Grand Blue means you won even if they survive. The Kagura one, Kagura is my favorite clan, and I am a very honest person. It's not a very good clan right now, and they needed something better than that GB8. That GB8 is weird because it's like blowing up the field instead of just doing a more aggressive type of attack. And I don't know why you care about blowing up their field instead of being more aggressive when you're at GB8 mode. Your opponent might not even really have like much for you to even kill, let alone the fact that you need to kill them now. If you don't kill them now, you're probably dying on their turn. So that was my opinion on him. For United Sanctuary, the Genesis one was okay, but not terribly exciting or busted. I guess you could fit it in there, but you probably won't ever need it. Especially if you're playing Wise Man, it kind of seems like you might just not play it. If you're not playing Wise Man, you're probably not playing a good Genesis deck. We don't really know what the new Genesis deck's going to be like from GB11 yet. We haven't seen enough cards, but Oracle Think Tank, Amaterasu, I thought was underwhelming, not very exciting. I think it's one of the worst GB8s. They're certainly not doing Oracle Think Tank any favors with that card. The Angel Feather one, I was very like, oh, that seems strong, but then that would assume that Angel Feathers just aren't going to deck out by the time you get to GB8. The Rescue 5, by the time you get to GB8, especially Angel Feathers already have a hard time not decking out. I don't know how they plan to get to GB8 and then do a Rescue 5 and then a triple drive and then maybe some... It doesn't seem realistic. I don't know that I would bother putting it in the deck. Who knows? But it doesn't seem very realistic to me. The Royal Paladin one is very good, probably one of the best. In a vacuum, it doesn't seem too impressive, but being able to go attack, call a Blaster Blade, a Floggle, give everything power, that seems kind of ridiculous to me. I think the Royal Paladin one's really good. Shadow Paladin, he's okay. Luard is definitely a deck that could get to GB8. By the time you get there, I don't know how many grade 1s will be in your deck, and I don't know how I feel about that card. I feel like you should probably play at least one of it, because you will get there. The board wiping, I guess, is like okay. You're mostly be using it, I guess, to have a powered up field, all the 15k on all the guys you call. Try to go for game. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably play it, but that's just because I can, not because I think it's necessarily good. That doesn't sound very smart, I guess. I think you might know what I'm talking about. Gold Paladin one, I barely remember what it does. It's like a Glorious Raining Dragon, but a little bit better, right? Glorious Raining Dragon's really good. This guy's kind of better than him, but not drastically better, so I guess it's good, but not like super impressive, I guess. I don't know. It seemed okay to me. Is that every clan now? Did we go through all of them? I think we did. Yeah. If I'm forgetting something, make sure to mention it to me. I think we went through them all. So guys, just under 20 minutes there. Thank you for watching.